Jules and Jim. This
Hi.
is Jules. I am Jim. I practiced.
I like that. I need another try on that one. Am I supposed to go to the left or go to the right?
I don't know, but I practiced this week, and I know that I go this way.
Well, I'm gonna go this way.
Is it? I don't know, because it records in a mirror. We talked about this last week, but I have it down.
Okay.
This is Jules. I have a new webcam this week.
Ooh.
The one that we first used, I felt like I was too cheruby looking.
I think you
And I
had
feel-
like a makeup filter on. You were like the lawyer.
Yeah, and this, it's like too dark or something.
You feel like it's too real. It's like, where's my glam squad?
It's like I'm in a Martin Scorsese film. So at some point, I'll get it down.
I feel like every episode of Jules and Jim, the visuals are inspired by a different classic cinema genre.
Well, last week was French.
Correct.
This week, I'm assuming you're wearing pink because we're talking about Pink, the
I
artist.
am. Yeah, but our look is like more of a gritty New York City look. Like you look like a little bit like a cop, like a dirty cop, maybe. And I'm maybe gonna interrogate you. I don't know.
So yeah, this episode has nothing to do with New York, although Pink's Summer Carnival 2023 tour will be rolling through New York City.
The carnival will be rolling through New York City.
City Field. So
Citi Field.
the Mets Stadium.
Okay, not familiar. I'm not familiar with this team, nor am I familiar with
You
this
know
field.
the Mets?
I'm just kidding. I'm just not like a sports person.
No, I know you're not sports, but you got to know the Mets.
You got to know the Mets because if you grow up here, you hear your whole life that the Mets suck.
But they did win in '86.
I remember that.
They still talk about that.
Harold Strawberry had the cocaine problem. That's like what I think of the Mets. That's what I think of.
Most of the team had a cocaine problem.
But they did win. So what's the lesson?
They won.
Right.
All right. So on today's episode of Jules and Jim,
Yes.
we'll be talking about Pink's Summer Carnival 2023 tour. We'll be talking about Pink's breakthrough in the early 2000s. She put out her debut album in the year 2000. And then we will end this episode by prognosticating what current acts will one day be able to go out on a global stadium tour.
Right. I like it. I like how you've used the word prognosticating and the word webcam in the same intro, and it feels a little dirty.
But did you catch that I said global world tour?
That's right.
It's not like she's playing LA, Chicago, and New York.
Mhm.
Pink's Summer Carnival 2023 tour runs from June 2023 through March 2024.
Wow.
It will be summer, I guess, in Australia when she makes it there. She may have to change the name a little bit, calling it Pink Summer Carnival 2024.
Mhm.
But get this, Julie. UK, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Poland, Germany, Austria, North America, Australia, and New Zealand?
Oh my. I hope the wheels don't fall off the carnival.
How is she going to do it?
I mean, have you seen her do a stadium show? I have seen her with my own eyes do the stadium show. And the answer to that question lies in when you see her, you can see the answer.
Still a lot.
It's a lot, but can we get into it? I mean, can we get into what she's like at the stadium, or do we need to start in the year 2000?
I think we start in the year 2000.
Okay.
Her debut album comes out, Can't Take Me Home. I remember the single, There You Go.
There you go. Doesn't have to let me go. Just not to let you go. Talking about you want me back. Sometimes it bees like that, which is an expression that I and the girls in Northern State use to this day, 23 years later. Sometimes it bees like that.
Whoa. So you use that Pink lyric to this day. I remember when the single came out, I was a fan.
Yeah.
And I was a fan of girl groups in the 1990s, SWV, Jade. And I felt, maybe this is wrong of me, keep in mind this was however many years, 23 years ago, I thought Pink was going to be a group like Jade, where Pink had a hit single or two, and then we would listen to that hit single for the rest of the time, and that was it.
Agreed. And I don't even think she had a follow-up. I think it was There You Go with the weird hair and the glasses. Was there one more song? What was the second song?
Most Girls.
I don't even know what that song is.
You would know it. You would know it if you heard it.
Maybe I would know if I heard it.
You would definitely know it if you heard it.
It means nothing to me now, sitting here 23 years later. It has no meaning to me.
So she puts out that album, and then a year later, although it was almost 2 years later, she put out Misunderstood.
Yes.
And if I had to spell that, I wouldn't be able to spell it the way she spells it.
Yeah.
Because it's totally
the second Z is silent.
Good. Because, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, everybody was misspelling things.
Yes, that's right.
I remember there was a tour with, I think it was like Snoop Dogg and Korn and Linkin Park, and I thought everyone spells their name wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember I had a group of punk friends who listened to nothing but punk music. And one of those friends confided in me, and he said, I like that Party Started song.
Ooh.
And that's the moment where I thought, whoa, wait a second. Maybe Pink is more than a one and done.
Certainly. I think that's kind of what everybody thought.
So was that song the changing point for her?
Definitely. So I'm a very, very big fan of Pink. I don't know if you know that.
I'm excited. I love that you love Pink.
Yes, I love Pink. I love Pink on like a personal level. Like not like, oh, I play all her music or I'm like I have been to the concert, but I love her in a way where I feel like connected to her, even though I've never met her. I've never even come close to meeting her. But if you're a Pink fan.
No, you have. Remember a couple of weeks ago, you said you were in the same room with her and Steven Tyler, and he called her Alicia?
This is actually completely untrue. I DJ'd a private party. I can't believe I forgot this. I DJ'd a private party. I just talked about this on the radio 2 days ago with Pink and Chris Stapleton and Rascal Flatts and a singer from China, a very famous singer from China whose name I don't know. A private party at someone's home in Oklahoma. So I did spend some time with Pink.
That was your chance. You should have introduced yourself.
I actually spent some time. I did. No, I did. I did spend some time with her. I introduced myself. It was right before the pandemic. It slipped my mind. And then I was backstage at a music festival with her, with Steven Tyler. But I don't feel like I know her.
Okay. All right.
You know?
You have shared the same air.
We've shared the same space, the same air. We've shaken hands. And been on the same stage in the same evening. So I guess I am a little connected to her. But to your point about Misunderstood, the story famously goes, as any of us Pink fans know, she was sitting in a makeup chair and she was scrolling through the phone of the makeup artist and she saw Linda Perry's phone number in the makeup artist's phone. And Linda Perry, you know, lead singer of Four Non Blondes, now legendary record producer and songwriter, had fallen on hard times and was a little bit of kind of like a nobody at the time, truthfully, and less than a nobody because she had just been a somebody who was like trying to claw her way back and I think was on the verge of giving up. And Pink famously called her multiple times and like stalked her. And she was like, I'm not working. Like, what am I doing here? And she went to Linda Perry's home studio. And Linda Perry had written Get the Party Started for like herself or for somebody else. She wrote the whole thing. Like Pink didn't write like a single word of that record. And she performed it. And like the rest is history.
Then Christina Aguilera tapped into Linda Perry and Pink's like, whoa, I was the one who rediscovered Linda Perry.
That's right. Pink famously was upset because she wanted Beautiful and Linda Perry had given it to Christina. I think it would have been better as a Pink song personally. And she had given it to Christina, and then Linda started to do that sound for everyone. And Pink was very hurt because she felt that was like her sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see both sides.
I can see both sides too. And I would say as like a big fan of certain bands, which you and I are, I'm sure we'll get to that later in the show. But when you're a big fan, like she was such a massive fan of Four Non Blondes and she felt ownership over it. That's really what it was. Like she felt ownership over a band she loved and she didn't want to share it.
Oh, I get it. But Linda Perry is also a songwriter and producer, so it's not like she can just be Pink's producer.
Yeah, and also like you don't own Linda Perry. Like Linda Perry was Linda Perry before you were Pink. So let's look at the order of operations here, shall we?
All right, so Misunderstood comes out 2001. And then Pink continues to release a string of albums.
Yes.
Most of those albums containing hit songs. She teams up with Tim Armstrong from Rancid. She did that in 2003 for Try This, and that album wasn't huge.
Okay.
And I don't think she worked with Tim Armstrong again. But it was a nice experiment. But from that time on, for the next 20 years, she's releasing albums. All of those albums have hit singles. Mm-hmm. At some point, she becomes a Cirque Du Soleil performer and performs on buildings. And at some point, I thought, cool it down, Pink. You're either going to get hurt or people are going to think of you as the person that performs on buildings.
Yes. But I saw her do that show in the stadium. I saw it at MSG, that like circus tour that she did where she does the acrobatics.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yes.
So this was in an arena, right?
I saw her in an arena.
Okay, because you keep saying stadium.
What's the difference between a stadium and an arena?
40,000 seats?
Is that true?
Yes.
So is MSG a stadium or an arena?
No, MSG is like 15,000 seats. A stadium is 70, 80,000.
That's a very interesting difference that I didn't know. What is the USB? Is that's an arena in Jersey?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you going to have to go back and amend your research now?
I'm kind of like, I might have to amend my own one sheet because I've performed at some of these places and I did not realize there was a difference. In my mind, Madison Square Garden is the largest venue in the world. I know that's not true, but it feels that way.
No, because it's the world's most famous arena.
That's
but
right.
Capacity-wise, it's not the world's most largest arena, and it's not a stadium.
What is the world's most largest arena?
The largest stadium?
Or stadium. Yeah, like what's the biggest venue? What's the biggest place you can play?
You would think somewhere in the Middle East, there's a stadium that fits 300,000 people. But I think one of the biggest ones, I might be wrong, is on the campus of Michigan. The Big House, I think, is over 100,000.
No way. I've been there 1,000 times.
Did you play there?
And I went there and I played with Tom Brady. No, I'm just kidding. But I did. I've been there. It didn't feel as exciting as going to see a show at the Garden. I'm just keeping it real.
All right. So back to your Pink experience at MSG.
Yes. So at MSG, I saw Pink. She's, famously ripped. Her body is like, she's an athlete, and she put on this show with all of the circus performance and the trapeze and the high wire. And it's really, and then she sits on a stool with the guitarist next to her and like sings her ass off. And she can do both of those things in the same hour, night after night after night. That's not what you expected when you saw her in the There You Go video. Not even not even in the same world.
No. And then I think at some point in time, she broke all of these live records in Australia. Like with sold out stadium shows, sold out arena shows. She may be, I think, and I might be wrong, the most successful live artist in the history of Australia. And that is why she's ending this tour in Australia.
I did not know that she had such a massive following in Australia. Like
why is she monstrous in Australia?
She's not Australian. She's not Kylie Minogue.
No, she's not.
What are you going to do? They love Pink in Australia.
So this summer, she is going out on a stadium tour. Stadiums, so not arenas.
Thousands of people. Is that like 50,000 and up?
So she's playing in the States. She's mostly playing baseball stadiums, which I would say between 35, 45,000.
Wow, that's a big deal.
And then I would think she's playing even bigger stadiums overseas.
Okay.
Like in Germany and France and England.
What sports do they have in stadiums like in Germany? Is she playing like a soccer stadium?
Soccer!
American football! Right,
football! Yeah, all right. So here's how the tour breaks down. Once again, going from June through March.
Crazy.
Not a full calendar year.
Pretty close.
But kind of close to a full calendar year. So overseas, and that's where she'll start, she'll be supported by The Script, Gale.
Oh,
A, B, C, D,
yeah, that's your song of the year.
Yeah. Kid Cut Up. Are you familiar with Kid Cut Up? No. To me, I didn't do my research on Kid Cut Up. Yeah. Kid Cut Up sounds like a DJ.
Well, yeah, I would assume so. It reminds me a little bit of DJ Cuttin' Candy, all K's, female DJ. Not so to be confused
you've never crossed
Kid Cudi.
No, not Kid Cudi. But I thought when I brought up Kid Cut Up, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, Kid Cut Up," and you would break it all down. You don't know Kid Cut Up.
I don't know.
All right. Well, the world will find out about Kid Cut Up.
Yeah.
And then I think for a show or two in London, Gwen Stefani joins the tour.
Wait a minute. Gwen Stefani opening for Pink or co-headliner?
No, as a support act.
Are you serious?
Does that shock you?
It shocks me.
How?
That doesn't shock you? How?
No.
Gwen Stefani is an icon, but that doesn't mean you sell tickets. She's an icon, but she's a massive star. I mean, she's a very relevant television star. She continues to put out records. She's an opening act now.
Yes.
She's one of the most iconic images of the entire 1990s and still is on television and is making a fortune in fashion and beauty.
Well, that'll be a good show to go to. Gwen Stefani and Pink.
I would see that 8 days
think of Gwen Stefani's catalog compared to Pink's catalog.
I know, but think of like the Scripts catalog. Think of Kid Cudup's whatever his name is. Think of Kid Cudup's catalog compared to Gwen Stefani's catalog.
I know, but I'm sure Gwen Stefani will go on right before Pink.
You know what just occurred to me, what I just remembered? I love how I said I have nothing. I'm like, I don't know Pink at all, but there was a time when I was up as an opening act to DJ before Pink. It was not it must not have been it certainly wasn't on a stadium tour. I completely forgot about this. But like, I remember I was DJing a bunch of high profile things, and one of the big agencies like William Morris or somebody was putting me on a couple of things here and there. And they had pitched me for 10 dates on the Pink tour. And there was a minute where we thought it was going to happen. I completely forgot about this. And that's how I ended up. I cannot believe I forgot this. That's how I ended up at the show at the Garden. Because I didn't buy tickets. I wasn't a massive Pink fan. I liked Pink, but I was given tickets to that show somehow through that. And I saw her and I fell in love with her. And I started to really learn about her and how she talks about her kids and her marriage and all the stuff that she does. That's how I ended up at that show.
Wow. So that's how you became a fan.
That's how
what solidified it.
Yeah, I would kill to be on a Pink tour. Kill.
Should we just put it out there?
Yeah, we should.
No, listen. Kid Cut Up.
Yeah.
I don't know the gender of Kid Cut Up.
Okay.
But Kid Cut Up is on this entire stadium tour. You would think that Kid Cut Up could get sick.
Kid Cut Up might need a night off.
So, if that happens, DJ Hesta Prynn available.
DJ Hesta Prynn is sitting in.
Yes, let's make it happen. Let's just put it out there.
Manifest that. I really want to manifest that. Let's manifest it.
Pink. You need DJ Hesta Prynn out on tour.
I know, right? Can I say one thing about Pink, about her musical change, right? Where we started this conversation. She went from this R&B type singer, which clearly wasn't her as an artist, and found Linda Perry, who helped her sort of refine the sound and all this. And now the rest is history. But it shows how important it is. It really has to be inside out, right? If you think about outside in, she's, obviously a star and can sing and whatever, but they kind of create this image and this sound for her and then put it onto her. And it worked sort of for the one or two songs, but it didn't move us. When she found a way, when she found this vehicle through this producer to make music and art from within, from her heart, who she really was, and had the courage to convince, I guess, L.A. Reid, right, to put it out, then it exploded. It's so, the lesson is, it's so important to find the vehicle or the medium through which to express your true self as an artist, and it's not always on your first try.
I'm going to take that clip and send it to Pink. You'll be opening up for her come August.
I love it. Will you attend?
Heck yeah.
Bring the kids.
I'll be in the front row. All right, so we didn't even talk about the States yet. So then Pink comes to the States, and we got about 5 minutes. Okay. This time, I got to pick up my kids.
Yeah.
Group Love.
Oh, love it. Great.
Speaking of my kids, that was their first concert. We all went to see Group Love together.
Perfect.
Pat Benatar in Neil Giraldo.
I'm walking out of this thing. I can't believe. I'm stop it. Are you kidding me?
And then on the dates that Pat Benatar isn't playing, Brandi Carlile is playing.
Shut the fuck up, Jim Shearer. Brandi Carlile is opening for Pink?
Yes.
These are just people who want to open for her because it's fun and they love her.
Yes.
Brandi Carlile does not need to be the opening act for Pink.
No, but it's going to be so much fun.
Oh
like
my
you
God.
Said.
I got to go see that.
I remember this was a couple months ago. There was a commercial that came on and I got excited. And I thought, I think I need to go to this tour.
Yeah, I want to go to the show for sure.
And that's what had me thinking about her 23 years ago, because I would never picture her as a stadium act.
That's right.
Because it doesn't happen. It happens for a select few.
Mhm.
You've got the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift, U2. I mean, we could probably list them on two hands right now.
Sure. Is Gaga on there?
Gaga has played stadiums. Yeah, so Gaga has played because I remember Mark Goodman went to see Gaga at Citi Field, and she went on late, and I think he tweeted about it. The current acts that could play stadiums. I have a list here.
Let's hear it.
Beyonce, Taylor, The Weeknd, Bad Bunny played Yankee Stadium last year. He could play stadiums across the world. He's the world's biggest artist. This summer, Morgan Wallen playing a stadium tour. Ed Sheeran, little Ed Sheeran and his guitar, he sells out stadiums across the world.
I believe that.
Luke Combs, he's playing stadiums too. So those are the current acts. But I want to ask you.
Yes.
Younger acts, not necessarily like 19 years old, but sort of the acts coming up now. Out of that batch, who do you see being a stadium act in, say, 5, 10, 15 years?
Okay. Is this a multiple choice question?
Yeah, you can give. I have a small list myself, and then I have some maybes.
Okay. You want to read the list? I have some thoughts, but the list will scratch my memory.
So you want to hear my maybes or my list?
I want to hear the list first.
All right. Billie Eilish.
Stadium.
Yes. Maybe not. I was gonna say maybe not global, but I think she could go global.
She could listen. I don't know, and I wish her the best. But I feel like she could in like select cities.
Can't you do Pittsburgh? Pink is playing Pittsburgh. Can Billie Eilish play a stadium in Pittsburgh in 10 years?
I don't think so, but I think she could do a stadium like in LA. Big,
right.
A big show though. It's got to be.
She could do MetLife. She could do MetLife in New York City.
And there's got to be a lot of like pomp and circumstance. It's not Billie Eilish. It's not one mic. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot is happening.
This almost sounds like we're dissing artists. Like,
no,
she'll so never play a stadium. But it's huge. I mean, the fact that they're in this discussion is huge. It's a compliment. If we're discussing you, it's a huge compliment because, like we said, it's rarefied air.
That's right.
Kendrick Lamar. I would think it's only a matter of time before he goes out on a stadium tour.
I don't know. Like
with names.
Yes. Okay. Kendrick Lamar is part of like an evening with.
Yeah. No, if he has other big names on the act, it can happen.
Yes.
Chris Stapleton. If that hasn't happened already,
for sure.
It's going to happen tomorrow.
Has Drake done stadiums?
I was thinking of it. He's done big festivals. Right. He's done arena tours. I don't know if he's done like a proper stadium tour.
You know, it's very hard to fill a stadium, not just with not just with people who buy tickets. You have to fill the stadium. So that's why it's so good for like a rock band or like a big pop act, like a Taylor, even in like an Ariana Grande. But to be like a hip hop group, to be like a one guy on the mic rapper, that's not easy.
Because what's like Eminem, Jay-Z.
Does Jay-Z play stadiums? I don't think so. He does?
With his wife, yes.
Oh, well, his wife, you know.
Lizzo?
Yeah.
Don't think now, but think like 10 years from now.
Probably, yes. And in Europe.
Post Malone.
I don't think so. I love
Can you please break that down?
I love me some Posty, but I don't know that Post Malone has a show that translates to a stadium. Like it's really him on the mic. That's really what his show is.
That is now. But in 10 years, if he gets a band,
I don't know,
and switches in some more visuals. Because I agree, when you see Post Malone, it's just him, and there's really nothing else. So he would need more to play a stadium in 5 to 10 years, I think.
I think about going to a Post Malone show and doing like all the song and dance it takes to like get to a stadium and see a show. Like all that it takes to get to a stadium and see a show. It's like Pink. Yes. It's a night at the theater. The Rolling Stones. Yes. It's like an orchestra, but like even with a band, is Post Malone that experience? Is that a stadium experience?
Well, think about 10 years from now.
He's still just going to be Post Malone 10 years older. Like, is that a stadium experience?
He may have some more hits up his sleeve.
Listen, I love Post Malone. I wish him the best. I just don't know. This is a very hard topic.
No, I know. We're predicting right now. We don't know.
You don't know.
Måneskin.
Do they have enough songs in 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years? I think they do.
I would say if they have the songs, then I could see it.
All right, and then here's my maybe list. And once again, I got to pick up my kids.
Okay, I'll make it fast.
I love how picking up our kids is how we end episodes.
Absolutely, as one does.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Probably.
Dua Lipa.
Yes.
This was one that I thought about, and I was like, nah. But then I thought about it again, and I thought, maybe.
Okay.
Paramore.
Yes, if they want to.
With the right band supporting them.
Yes, for sure. They probably could do it now.
Ooh, because they are going out on a big tour, but they're not playing stadiums. All right, any for you before we go? Current acts that will be playing stadiums in 10 years.
Harry Styles.
That's good. Will we get sick of Harry Styles?
I don't think I will. I think Harry Styles will age like for Harry Styles' target audience, which I sit in the sweet spot of. I think Harry Styles will age like a fine wine. He will become less like our Mick Jagger and more like our Robbie Williams via America, via UK.
No, that's good because I think he's either playing Wembley or has played Wembley. Yeah. So if he can play a stadium over there, it's only a matter of time before he can play a stadium over here in the rest of the world.
Yeah, he's like my number. He's the one that I would bet on.
No, that's good. That's a good one. No, that's a great one because I see that happening.
Great. Yeah. Okay, good.
All right, so I'm going to pick up my kids.
Okay.
In the meantime, send this clip out or send this show out to Pink, and let's get DJ Hesta Prynn to fill in for Kid Cut Up for 1 or 2 nights.
One night only in like Singapore.
At City Field in New York City Field. Yeah.
All right, great. I'll see you there. All right, go get the kids.
All right, so for DJ Hesta Prynn, my name is Jim, and we will see Yins later.